the game keeps growing. Pat, this is the one thing, the NFL, pro football, the one thing that can pull a live audience together like nothing else. 2.3 million for Succession is regarded as a huge deal nowadays. Hell, they used to get 30 million on Saturday nights for the Carol Burnett show back when I was a kid. The audience is too fractured now. The NFL is the one thing that pulls it together. There's huge value there. There's been talk about this whole Thursday night flex. I think that's very real. I think that's going to happen sooner than later. I think sooner than later we're going to have Tuesday night football. We're going to have Wednesday night football.
Damn.
It's going to be, hopefully in my lifetime, a 7-day-a-week primetime event.
You would want that? You think you'd want that?
Too much money to be made.
You would want that?
What's that?
You think that would be good?
Well, look.
Definitely on Wednesdays.
I like it because
I mean, we need Wednesdays.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, every Sunday during football season, I'm in a viewing room at NBC trying to watch 9 games at once. And when I get a chance to just watch one game, I learn so much more. I understand so much more. Yeah. So I would love to have football on every night of the week. It would be nice to have a night or two off, like Friday and Saturday. That would be nice. But I'd be fine with Tuesday and Wednesday.
I'm excited to see what they do. Just like there were 17 games added, one game added to 17. It's like, there's another one coming.
Yeah.
There's another one coming. I mean, they know the business. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, but I think a lot of players are thinking like, hey, I can barely survive how this season's going right now. I don't know how I'll be able to do it in the future. I think it's just going to become the norm that guys miss a couple games every single. I think it's just going to become kind of a thing. But fans are going to be pissed if they go to a game where a player's out, just like in the NBA. So it's interesting, the give and take that they're going to have to balance, but the money is good. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Florio, speaking of, London and to your point, playing games every night and the money of the league, do you expect there to be a couple expansion teams, whether it be in the United States, Canada, maybe even London? Do you think that's coming in the next 10 years?
I think it is coming. I think they're going to start moving that number from 32 in time, 34, 36, 38, eventually 40. Quarterbacks is the key. Is there ever going to be enough quarterbacks to have 40 NFL teams? But I think that would be the ultimate maximum number. The commissioner said at one point last year he envisions the possibility of a division in Europe. 2 teams in London, 2 teams elsewhere in Europe. So you can't relocate 4 teams. At some point, there's got to be expansion. And when it comes to the inventory, right? 18 games is the most they're ever going to get away with. So if you want to increase the total number of games so you can have games Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Friday night, Saturday night, at some point you need more teams to get more games.
You think there's enough quarterbacks? You asked the question, I think, that a lot of us think. Pac, you think there's enough quarterbacks to have 40, 36?
Yeah.
You think so?
I do.
Cam Newton thinks so.
I do.
Well, he doesn't think there's.
Well, obviously, some of the first-round guys will have to play right now. If we expand it to more.
Because we got to think like the automatic comparison is the USFL or the XFL, but they can't get anybody that's even on an NFL roster. So that's 3 deep at least at most places. 32 teams. That's what, quick math, 96.
Yeah.
You do so. That's not so. The 97th quarterback is normally the one that's available potentially if everybody's scouting properly for these spring leagues. That's low. But like 30, there's backup quarterbacks in places that are good players.
And then you add your draft pick. You got to add the draft pick to it too. So I think it's possible.
Think about last year too. Like Jarrett Stidham came out of nowhere, played really well. Obviously Purdy, but like Trey Lance would be a starter.
So Mike, they would play their whole division over there, and then they would have a home base, and then they play everybody else. They have an away game every fucking week for the rest of the season.
Well, what they would do is, when you have 4 teams in Europe, you've got those games that you play among yourselves every year that would have reduced travel, because you play every other team twice. And I think the plan would be to have a base of operations, somewhere on the East Coast. And then the teams would come over and stay in the U.S. 2 or 3 weeks at a time and then go back for more home games. And that's got to be hard. You got to get players who want to do it.
Yeah, that would
You have to
suck.
get players who want to do it, live overseas. There's going to be plenty who want nothing to do with that.
The money would have to be right, too, because taxes are bananas, right?
You'd have to deal with tax issues. You'd have to deal with salary cap. See, the problem would be, and they'll deal with it. If the money's there to be made by the owners, they'll deal with it.
We know that.
But
hey, man, everybody in the owners meeting just said, hey, man. Whatever. Florida.
You got to balance it out, right, to help the teams in Europe do better. There's a chance you go too far and they become too good because you're giving them too many breaks, too much extra salary cap space, whatever the case may be. But they're willing to try it, I think, if the end result is making the sport global, which is clearly what they're trying to do.
Yeah, and those players go over there and, playing in the NFL here is top dog. You over there, you're all of a sudden, you're not playing in the NFL.
You play on a pitch, man.
Yeah, exactly. You're not playing football.
Yeah, but getting to experience that, everybody loves it. It's just like living over there. There's a whole different ballgame. That's like 4 months, 5 months.
Food different. Everything is different. Everything is smaller. I don't know if I wouldn't want to do it.
All right, so Pac-Man will not play his 15th year. Let's let all the European. I think Germany, right, would be a big. Germany would have to have at least a team or two, maybe. Even.
Yeah.
They love it. It feels everywhere they go. It is beloved. Good for the NFL. Can't wait to see where they continue to grow to.